TWiGames.com.
Welcome to this week's episode of TWiGames.com. We begin with Yoichi Wada's comments about Japanese gamers, and of course we talk about the VGAs. But first, the November NPDs. The Wii led consoles with 1.2 million, with the 360 and PS3 at 2 and 3 with 820 and 710,000 respectively. And Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 obliterated the charts at number 1 and 2 with 4.2 million on the 360 and 1.8 million on the PS3. Brian, how much money did you make off of all these sales?
Goose egg.
So why do we care?
I don't know. But 2006, the Wii's a fad, right?
Yeah.
2007, oh, it's still a fad. 2008, whatever, people aren't going to buy it anymore. 2009, 1.2 million sold. Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you what, Brian, it's still a fad. It is still a fad. And I can explain why. Let me explain why.
Oh,
Look,
man.
maybe it's not a fad in terms of, it's still selling to millions of people, but it's a fad to each person who buys it because it lasts 1 month.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
it probably lasts 1 or 2 weeks, and then that bad boy is collecting dust. So individually, it's a fad.
Individually, it's still a fad. Can we talk about Modern Warfare and the monster that it was?
Oh my God.
Right now, already, worldwide sales, it is the third best-selling PS3 and 360 game of all time in 1 month?
It's insane. Less than a month. Less than a month.
I know, because it didn't even come out on November 1st.
Look, this is 6 million total sales just in the U.S. What? What?
I know, and I was surprised the 360 came in too.
Yeah.
Because of the cryptic PR talk. Remember, Nintendo was like, ha ha ha, we made lots of money.
Yeah.
And then PS3 was like, hey, we sold 440,000.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft said, this is our best week ever.
No, this was our best week of the year. Black Friday's the best week of the year every year. But, I mean, look, clearly the surprise here is the PS3 came in third, but 710,000. It's up 88% from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a success. And why is the 360 ahead of it? Well, I think simply Modern Warfare 2. It sold 4.2 million copies on the 360. And if you're going to buy a new system, play Modern Warfare 2, chances are you're going to buy the system that your friends have. And well, most people's friends have a 360.
And plus, Microsoft did a really good, kind of sneaky good job of marketing because it made it look like it was an exclusive.
Yeah.
Every time you saw Modern Warfare, it was a 360 symbol.
Yeah.
Or it was on the 360 being shown.
Totally. I mean, it's marketing. But and clearly, a couple weeks ago, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I mentioned the Xbox Live bannings. They were going to help sales. I could be right. Whatever. Let's not get into that. But a couple other surprises here. God of War Collection cracking the top 20.
Which is great. I want to see more of that.
That's just pure profit right there.
I know.
And it's a great game. And I hope 180,000 people that never played God of War before are loving it. Another thing I want to point out. Although I don't think Assassin's Creed 2 deserves to sell more than Uncharted 2, which we'll get to in a second, but I'm very happy that Assassin's Creed 2 is selling. Because to me, the single-player adventure, no multiplayer, and it's a good game, as long as those games sell, I hope they keep making them.
What about Uncharted 2? Why isn't it not even on the top 20?
Number 1 game in October, not even in the top 20 in November. 710,000 people bought a PS3 in November.
Why aren't they picking up Uncharted 2?
How are they? It's a big game. It's the highest rated game of the year, and they're not picking it up. It doesn't make any sense. What do you think it is?
I don't know. Maybe it's just not appealing. Maybe the initial glance is just not appealing.
What about Gears of War is more appealing than Uncharted?
It could be the opposite because Gears of War is concentrated. It's ultra violent, it's super hyper.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the broader audience. Maybe it doesn't work, I guess.
Do you think it's just the Drake and the other characters, they're just normal people? Do you think that's what it is? That's not appealing to
maybe
the younger gamers?
Because you're not appealing, so maybe that's what it is.
That was pretty weak, Brad. But what else is going on here? Dragon Age. That's
surprising.
Yeah, that's a surprise because this is a PC game. Everybody who's waiting for this game, waiting for the successor to Baldur's Gate, is buying it on the PC. It's still sold over 600,000 on consoles.
And let's not forget Reggie's comments. He might be right. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, 1.3 million. It's probably going to outsell it on PS3 next month.
I don't know.
He could do it.
I don't know.
It could happen.
I don't know. I mean, well, if you factor in Japan, maybe. But by January, I don't know. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is a powerhouse. This is crazy. One last thing I want to point out, though. Can we get Wii Play off of these charts? Nobody's buying Wii Play the game. They're buying the controller and paying an extra $5 to get a free game. Uncharted 2 could have been number 21 on this chart, and Wii Play just screwed it over. Take it off the chart.
Yoichi Wada, the CEO of Square Enix, said in an interview about Japanese gamers, even now, there have been people in Japan using the label Western games with a terribly discriminatory meaning. Then said of Modern Warfare 2, I'd like them to try it once. If they play it once, they'd realize how incorrect that label is. Rich, is Mr. Wada doing his best Dave Chappelle impression? That is racist. That is racist.
That's exactly what it sounds like. You know, it's funny though that, you know, this potentially has been going on for a long time now.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say anything about it until he happens to be publishing Modern Warfare 2 in Japan. Like, this guy doesn't care if these games sell or not, but now he does because he's publishing the game.
So, Rich, I got to ask you something. I thought I liked StarCraft because of the strategy and the beautiful art and the gameplay.
Right.
But it looks like I was predisposed
Yes.
to liking StarCraft.
Who are you kidding here, Bri? When each of us are born, like, we already know what type of movies we're gonna like. We already know what type of games we're gonna like. It's like we're computer programs. We're basically programmed to like certain things.
I thought Kojima had a good theory as to why this happens. And he said, you know, back in the day, the fidelity wasn't that good. They were just pixels.
Yeah.
But now, since it's so high res, people can inject their cultural style onto games.
Yeah.
And so Japanese games do have Japanese style. Western games do have it. I think maybe that could be the reason for this kind of stuff.
Only Kojima could come up with something like that.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good point. It's a really good point. But here's the thing. I mean, when you just straight up just look at sales, I mean, Wada's right. I mean, the huge Western games, Gears of Wars, Halos, Call of Duties, Uncharted 2, like these games are selling 100,000 in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is, they always say that's good for Japan. Why? Why is that good for Japan?
I know.
These games are unbelievable. And
Games
I
are
agree.
games.
I agree. If they tried these games out there, they may love them. I love Japanese games. That's why, you know, I always buy PlayStation day one because I just assume that the Japanese games are going to come out on that system. I love them. I can't wait for Final Fantasy 13. You know, I'm in a huge drought of Japanese crazy wild games.
Rich, that is not racist.
I'm one of the only
That is
people.
very not racist of you.
That's true. That is true. I apologize for that. But look, I'm the only person who liked Devil May Cry 4. I think this generation. I just love Japanese games, and you know, Japanese gamers really ought to give Western games a try. EA CEO John Riccitiello said of Pirates, they can steal the disc, but they can't steal the DLC, and believes that quality DLC is enough to make these pirates actually pay for some of these games that they're stealing. Brian, is horse armor enough to make pirates pay for Oblivion?
I don't know, but when I heard about horse armor, I was pretty long in the face.
Oh, God. No, but seriously, I mean, yeah, this is a great point, and I think a lot of executives out there are thinking the same thing. But why would you say it publicly?
Right.
Why would you say it? Why would you tell? He's pretty much justifying for the pirates, like, you know what? Keep stealing these games because I think we can still get money out of you.
Here's the thing he has to be worried about is, what if the DLC gets so good that in fact they're ruining the original content and then they lose people like us who buy games? Well, this is such a tight line to cross.
Yeah, but that's actually a good point though, because so if this is his mentality about DLC, maybe they're going to focus more on, wait a minute, what should we have as DLC? How can we get these pirates? What will they need to buy?
Because the potential pirate market is massive.
Yeah.
But what he has to be worried about is shrinking the current market that he has in actual buyers.
Right. And you know, if they can hack all these games and download all of them illegally and stuff, why can't they steal the DLC? I'm pretty sure that there's a way for them to get this DLC, no?
Riccitiello is fuming right now listening to this podcast.
No, but seriously.
He's telling you to shut up, Rich.
There's a way. There's a way to steal the DLC. I mean, this is ridiculous. I just thought of that on the spot. Like, who's he kidding? What is it, like EA's DLC mechanism, like completely armor-proof, like no hacker can get in? Like, come on, Riccitiello.